Yeah.
All right, Coach. 33 new signees today on National Signing Day. Just talk a little bit about overall your guys' class coming in.
Well, Kevin, we really wanted to emphasize getting a well-rounded class again, really hitting on just about every position group there was. We did not sign a kicker or punter this year. That was by design. But other than that, if you look across the board, you know, we signed guys at every spot, offense, defense, which I think is something you shoot for every year. You never want to get to a year where you maybe don't sign anybody at a certain position. There's certainly going to be some areas that are going to get emphasized a little bit more. We signed, you know, we put a big emphasis on linebacker this year because of graduation with 3 guys last year, a couple more guys graduating next year. We really feel that we need to build the depth there and get more better players and more guys to create competition there, because we like playing a lot of guys on defense, and that's the one spot on defense we haven't signed as many guys recently. So we signed a lot of guys there. Several tight ends as well. We didn't sign a tight end last year, so we put an emphasis on it and signed 3 this year. We're in the process of signing our 3rd one. And then also wide receiver as well. And again, a lot of times those guys can play defensive backs, maybe eventually can play outside linebacker. You know, you just look for athletic, versatile guys and go from there.
Talk about each guy individually a little bit, if you would.
Sure. You know, and I'll just go in alphabetical order. Daryl Atkins is a tight end from De La Salle High School in Minneapolis. You know, a long, athletic guy, does a lot of things now in high school now that we ask our tight ends to do. You know, he goes on the perimeter and blocks physically, plays inside the box as well, and then does a lot of good things in the passing game as well, catching the ball and getting yards after catch. So he's we think he can be a prototypical kind of tight end that we've got in our current system right now. Chris Atterbury is a linebacker from Sacramento, California. Really identified him a long time ago in the recruiting process. Coach Tupou has done a good job with Chris and had him in for a weekend, the last weekend of the year, had him in for a visit. Physical guy, played at a high level of football in California, was I believe the defensive MVP in their conference, and in on just a ton of tackles, and a real active guy in the run and pass game as well. Desmond Bobo, another California guy from Pomona High School in Pomona, California, cornerback, long, athletic guy. Does not, you know, he looks very natural playing the cornerback position in terms of in coverage, going up for balls, tackling people. Really probably plays bigger than he is, to be honest with you, and that's something you look for at that position. So athletic guy, involved in a lot of sports. I believe he's in 2 other sports, soccer and track as well. Nick Burris, another California guy. We signed 4 of them. 3 of them are 3 of the first ones in the alphabetical order, I guess. But Nick Burris was a quarterback and defensive back at Cypress High School in Cypress, California. Again, we project Nick to be a defensive back, a safety here for us. But you see him play his athleticism, playing quarterback, running around, throwing balls on the run, being a runner, being a thrower, and then playing some defense as well, having an aggressive mindset. Braden Bushman was a running back from Williamsfield High School in Gilbert, Arizona, same high school as Ryan Waybrick, one of our captains who graduated this year. Braden had an interesting career. Transferred back from a school in Colorado his junior year, and I believe he had 10 carries his junior year at Williamsfield, and then ended up with over 2,700 yards and 33 touchdowns as a senior. Was the leading rusher in the state of Arizona. So tremendous upside there. We think you know, his ceiling is pretty high yet in terms of how much better of a football player he can be as well. Antonio Campanella, another running back from Phoenix. He's from Seton Catholic High School in Chandler, Arizona. Tremendous career, had 57 total touchdowns in his career. Had I believe over 2,000 rushing and receiving yards this year as a senior. So real active, athletic guy, good start and stop, runs away from people as well. Jake Como was a quarterback from Brandon Valley High School, Brandon, South Dakota. Really, we had Jake identified as the top quarterback on our board at the start of the process, and we were excited to have him playing for Coach Chad Garrow at Brandon Valley. Really a dual threat guy, runner, thrower, just similar to the guys that we have in our offense, similar to the offense we run. So really thought he was a good fit from that standpoint, as well as just his personality as a leader and the intangibles he's got. Really a student of the game. So excited to have Jake on board. Jacob Cremines is from Roscoe, Illinois. Defensive end. He was at our camp this summer, as were a lot of these guys, and we identified Jake at that point in time as being a an active, athletic defensive end that will fit extremely well into our 3-4 defensive scheme. Brock DeGroat is another defensive end right here from Aberdeen Central High School in town. Another guy that we've really identified, the last 3 years really as a guy that we think could be a very good college football player. Long, athletic, really plays with a great edge, great motor, just like his mindset as a defensive end. And Brock's family real supportive and excited to have Brock and his entire family in our program. Preston Dressler is from Cuba City, Wisconsin. He was a quarterback, played some defensive back there as well. Just from an athletic standpoint, we think Preston is going to play linebacker for us. And again, just a guy that with some size and some athleticism that we see him really being a versatile guy, does a lot of things well. And expect that to transfer over to playing linebacker at a high level. Austin Folsom, wide receiver, one of our first commits. Austin is from Spirit Lake, Iowa, and wide receiver can really go. Had, I think, 5 return touchdowns in his career, in addition to, I believe, 24, 25 touchdowns. As a wide receiver, as a slot guy, can really get out and go and run and catches the ball well. Sure-handed guy. Riley Francine is from another guy from Brandon High School, South Dakota, Brandon Valley High School, I should say, running back. Might be a slot receiver, might be a running back for us. A real powerful guy, state powerlifting champion, so you get to see him run through tackles, and in addition to making people miss, and again, whether he projects out as a running back or a wide receiver, maybe a little bit of both, to be honest with you, in our scheme. Joe Gorghuber is a linebacker, outside linebacker from Alexandria, Minnesota. Joe was a quarterback and free safety in high school, and again, we're always trying to find guys that can project out and be athletes and project out and play a lot of different positions in college. And when you watch Joe playing basketball, you watch him, he's on the field, obviously, track guy as well, just really a athletic, active guy, but physically, a long ways along as a high school senior. You watch him play high school basketball, he doesn't look like a senior out there, so good upside for Joe. Lincoln Gruber, another guy he's from Germantown, Wisconsin, similar to Joe, long, athletic guy that we project as an outside linebacker. Comes from one of the most successful high school programs in the state of Wisconsin, and so he's used to winning. He knows what it takes to compete at a high level. Physical guy, but also does some things from an athletic standpoint as a pass rusher and in the run game as well. That does some good things. Landon Hayline. Landon is from right here at Aberdeen Roncalli High School. Really kind of a family tradition here. His uncle and his father have both played football here, Kendall and Kerwin, and then his brother Brendan is currently on our team as well as a linebacker, and his cousin Derek played basketball here a few years ago. So, but aside from that, just identified Landon as a guy we want to have in our program from an athletic standpoint. Again, a multi-talented guy, does a lot of things well. Playing tight end, playing linebacker, you could probably play a number of different positions at the college level. Isaac Hodge, real dynamic wide receiver, another guy from De La Salle High School in Minneapolis. Again, a natural hand catcher, catches the ball well, and makes people miss, can do things, pretty productive things after the catch. Also a return game guy as well. So excited to have somebody with that kind of dynamic, game-breaking type of abilities like Isaac in our program. Ben Lewis is an offensive lineman from Washington High School. Big physical guy. We project Ben to be an offensive tackle. And, again, playing for Coach Chad Statham, a real physical guy, has played against a high level of competition throughout his high school career. And, again, big frame guy that we think can put on the weight and strength needed to compete at a high level. Jason Martin, a linebacker from Omaha North High School in Omaha, Nebraska. Really a hitter, an aggressive, downhill, physical guy, does a lot of things well, and is really a force in the run game. You see him making plays in the pass game as well, but from a physical standpoint, he will come up and hit you, and a real explosive, powerful guy. Christian McIlvain, mid-year addition from Santa Rosa Junior College. Christian is a quarterback, and again, he's enrolled, he's taking classes here, he's been working out with our team for a month. We expect Christian to, compete for the quarterback position with a couple other guys that we have in our program. Christian, played at Santa Rosa for a couple years, redshirted there 1 year, so he brings a lot of really good college experience to the game. Again, a runner, passer kind of guy that fits into our system extremely well. Zach Mose is the defensive lineman from West Fargo High School, same high school as Mason Thorstead and Zach Neer, a couple guys that have been really good players for us over the last couple of years. Zach is projects out to play defensive end, but really could play a number of different positions in our defense and or possibly on the offensive line. Really a versatile guy and was really their best offensive lineman, again playing against the highest level of competition in North Dakota. Does a lot of things well. Sorrel Nagurski is a athletic, multi-talented, multi-sport guy, Bismarck Century High School. Great grandson of Bronco Nagurski. People always ask me that, but you know, starting Sorrel being a wide receiver, defensive back in high school. Again, an athletic guy that really could probably play a number of different positions in college. Projects to be a wide receiver here. Does a lot of things well on the field and also in other sports as well. Just been a real active athletic guy and playing for one of the better programs in the state of North Dakota. Chris Olson is a defensive end from Monticello, Minnesota. Played offense and defensive line at Monticello High School. Again, versatile guy, plays physical, really a powerful, strong guy. You see him play, seeing him project out well to play defensive end in our scheme. Anthony Olson was really our first high school commit of the recruiting class for first weekend in December. Anthony's from Lemoore, North Dakota, another multi-sport, multi-talented guy who we've identified for several years as a guy that we want to recruit. Same high school as Logan Shockman, Brady Fields, just a couple guys that were on our team. Same high school as Dean Barry, our baseball coach. So you know he's a gamer then, but really Anthony, phenomenal basketball player, phenomenal football guy, track, baseball. Does everything well. Never played running back until his senior year and had over 2,500 yards rushing as a senior. So tremendous upside. We project Anthony to be a defensive back and excited to have him in our program. Derek Peters, offensive lineman from Sioux Falls, Lincoln High School, two-time state champion, played for Coach Aaron Beavers. Physical, aggressive, playing with an edge, playing with the attitude that you want your guys to play with, especially on your offensive line. Really plays to the edge of the whistle and project him to be a guard in our system. And then his twin brother Drew Peters, same thing, two-time starter for a two-time state champion, Sioux Falls Lincoln. Again, aggressive edge, playing to the edge of the whistle, playing with a lot of tenacity. When you watch those two play, they really get after it, and I like the way you see them finishing blocks off at the end of each play. Dakota Tater. Dakota is a linebacker from Lakeville North High School, one of the better programs in Minnesota, and you know, real active, athletic guy. We project Dakota to be an outside linebacker, probably our weak side outside linebacker in our scheme. Again, multi-sport guy, but really long and athletic, but plays a physical style as well. And you see him do a lot of things well on space. You see him do things well in the box as well. Kyle Trefethrin, offensive lineman from Fargo South High School. Again, one of the best programs in the state of North Dakota. Kyle's projected to be a center in our system. Brother Tyler's on our team, but we like his physical style. We've been with and around him at camps and been around the family for a while, and really feel Kyle's a good fit. Again, a guy that can probably play on the offense or defensive line because he's athletic enough to play several different positions, but we will start Kyle out at the center position on our offensive line. Donovan Trotter is a wide receiver. He's from a wide receiver defensive back. He's from Mesa Westwood in Mesa, Arizona. Speed guy. Really didn't play much receiver till his senior year and really had a breakout senior year. We think he's a guy that could really play on either side of the ball with his versatility, but really a smooth guy. You see him catch balls. He does not slow down in and out of breaks. He's on the move, on the run all the time. Really a smooth, athletic guy, and really does things extremely well. A lot of things extremely well. Great upside with Donovan. Lucas Vogel, tight end from Gettysburg, South Dakota. Lucas is a multi-sport guy, wrestling as well, track. Another guy that was at our camp last summer that we saw a lot of athletic things from some physical things that we think Lucas really will transfer over to the college game extremely well. Good frame, has the ability and has the frame to add a lot of size, strength, weight. Same high school as Blaine Schmidt and Gettysburg, Potter County High School. So a multifaceted, talented athlete we think is going to project well to the tight end position. Donovan Yabo, linebacker from Peoria High School, Peoria, Arizona. Real active, athletic linebacker, aggressive, plays downhill. I think he had 10 tackles for loss, around 100 tackles his senior year. Again, playing in a good conference and playing a real physical style of football, always around the football. Caleb York, Sioux Falls, Washington High School, a active, athletic defensive lineman, plays physical, a guy that we identified early in the process to be a guy that could come in and be a big part of our class. A wrestler actually suffered a pretty bad injury here during wrestling. We expect a full recovery there, but again, Caleb playing against a good level of competition, aggressive, physical guy. You can see him playing with an edge as you watch him play. And then Bryce Zawatsky. Bryce is a linebacker from Little Falls, Minnesota. Really a physical in-the-box guy. You just see him downhill making a lot of plays in the box, but he's also athletic enough and talented enough to run and get outside the tackle box and make plays on the perimeter as well. So we are waiting one more signature. We should be getting that here shortly if we haven't gotten it already. Just a couple time zones away in Hawaii, so that should be here any minute. So I won't comment on him, but we are expecting that one to come in. They had a live stream, so we actually saw him sign live, so we expect that he'll be here. And then we did add a couple other guys at mid-year. Kyle Harms is a guy that signed with us a couple years ago, 2013, played as a true freshman and then suffered a knee injury, cut his season short from Peoria, Arizona, Liberty High School. He's returning to our program here in January as a running back. And then Colin McIlvain, who is Christian's younger brother, also a quarterback. So we went from 2 to 4 quarterbacks in our program in one day. So expect Colin was a very good high school quarterback. Expect him to project well as well at the college level. So exciting group of guys to be around. Again, expect to sign 33 guys by the end of the day. 9 from the state of South Dakota, and we've really made that the priority of our recruiting. When you look at our team over the last 4 or 5 years, we've had over half of our team has been, over 50 guys have been from the state of South Dakota. We continue that trend as well. We did sign 6 guys from Minnesota and 4 from North Dakota. So really within this North Dakota, South Dakota, Minnesota range, we ended up signing 19 of our 33 guys from the immediate area. And again, we're always gonna do that and continue to make that the main area where we do our recruiting. We did sign 4 Arizona athletes and 4 California guys as well. And again, just those have been areas that we've had some success recruiting in Arizona. We've got 3 of our coaches on our staff from California, and that's been a good area for us with Coach Tupou, Coach Clancy, and Coach Rakowski. And then a couple from Wisconsin, which is uncharted ground for us as well. So overall, just a good class, 1 from Illinois, 1 from Nebraska, 1 from Iowa, and again, waiting on 1 from Hawaii as well. So just a good, well-rounded class. Like we said at the beginning, just about half of our signees received the Wolfpack Scholarship this year, meaning that they're academic scholarship award winners in addition to being athletic scholarship recipients. And again, that's been a huge part of our program. We've been over a 3.0 grade point average 4 semesters in a row, and so we expect that to continue, and we've led the conference in academic all-conference selections for 3 consecutive years with 84 guys over the last 3 years. So again, just trying to get the best overall student athletes we can and wanting to continue to make our team better. And that's we think we did that today. I'll know for sure in a couple of years, I guess, but excited about the well-rounded group we've got, and with hitting some areas especially hard, some position groups that we really felt we needed to emphasize this year, and excited to have the latest members of the Wolfpack join Northern State University.
All right, thanks a lot, Coach.